Ladies and gentlemen, live from Kelvin University, it's The Tonight Show!
Welcome to The Tonight Show. I'm your host, Jack Droppers. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. Nate Glasper Jr. is here, and we will have a live performance from the Skinny Limbs. But first, let's get to the news. Streaming service Disney Plus announced today that the second season of their hit Star Wars show, The Mandalorian, will be released this October. And given the success of charging $30 extra for their remake of Mulan, watching The Mandalorian will only cost the price of naming your firstborn child Princess Baby Boba Yoda Fett Solo Skywalker.disney.com. It's basically a steal. Speaking of the impact of generational greed, climate change. As fires continue to spread across the western part of the United States, it is said that even we will begin to see a tint change in our Midwestern skies over the coming days. And look, I understand that it feels like the world is ending right now and that nothing is ever going to be the same. First, the coronavirus, now these fires and the murder hornets, and now there's even another deadly virus called Tripoli that's carried by mosquitoes in Michigan. But rest assured, Calvin students, there will be a sense of normalcy in this fall season. Of course, by normalcy, I mean that we will all still be able to watch Detroit Lions fans softly cry into their pumpkin spice lattes every Sunday afternoon. In Calvin news, last weekend's Funniest Person on Campus event was canceled due to the lack of signups, which honestly might be lucky for me, because I heard that this was actually a ploy to get somebody else to host this show, because apparently administration is a little bit worried that I'm going to go off on some rant and say something like, I don't know, hope college is a great school. Go there or at least explore it before. Go home. Speaking of me not losing my job, this weekend, the Student Activities Office will be hosting 2 outdoor socially distanced events, starting on Friday with back-to-back showings of the movie Waves, followed by 2 performances on Saturday night by the indie folk band Fady. Tickets for both of these events are now available online at www.pleasedon'tfireme. I actually really like this job, and I promise these events are going to follow protocol and be incredibly safe.kelvin.edu. And that's the monologue. We'll be right back with Nate Glasper Jr. All right, welcome back to The Tonight Show. His most recent single is titled You Are Great and is streaming anywhere you listen to music. He oversees the gospel choir here at Calvin and is easily one of the best dressed men on campus. Let's welcome Nate Glasper Jr. Welcome, Nate.
The best dressed?
Yeah.
Oh man, wow.
I mean, the polka dot shirt, come on. I was actually asking a few students before this, because I feel like every picture I've seen in you, you have some sort of navy blue and some sort of suit. Is this like your go-to thing?
It is. And everyone's like, bro, you got to get some more colors. So I'm trying.
There you go.
It's great. Polka dots today, so
there you go.
That's a little fancy polka dots.
So I want to talk about the new song, but let's talk about squirrels, because I've heard that you've got a little bit of a vendetta against the squirrels on campus.
Man, I tell you, one time I was coming out of my office, and right in the CFAC, at the end where the practice rooms, there's an exit door, and you go up the stairs right to the parking lot. I promise you, one time I went out, and a squirrel was sitting there chilling, like, what's up? And I was like, what's up with all the squirrels? And so someone told me, like, there's squirrels all over campus. They're very friendly. Mm-hmm. And I've seen pictures people posting on their social media where they're feeding squirrels and feeding them out of their mouth, like with a chip, and the squirrels come in. So I'm like, what's up?
These are Calvin students. They're putting food in their mouth and touching it to the squirrel's mouth.
I got proof, man. I got proof.
If ever there was a coronavirus-centered disease that came out of Calvin University,
But I tell you,
We will need those photos.
Don't
kiss squirrels.
In the span of all my years here at Calvin, I've seen it all. So yeah. The squirrels are interesting, but I won't mess with any squirrels. When they come, I go the other way.
Speaking of weird things at Calvin, so you direct the gospel choir.
Yes, sir.
And I'm curious. So here in the land of, as I've heard it's called, the frozen chosen, we don't like to dance. When we sing, even like when we go to dances, and particularly when it comes to church music, maybe you have a story or something of a student that you had to encourage a little bit extra to just move a little bit.
Yeah, it's something about the 2 and the 4. That's what we call it. You know, clapping on the 2 and the 4 and moving your feet on the 1 and 3. Man, it's terrified some students. I've seen tears. I've seen like agony. Here's a true story. Maybe about 3-4 years ago, we were preparing for the Calvin Music Festival, and I like to call that the music the Super Bowl of the music department, right. Because we're all preparing, we're all working hard. Students are feeling the pressure. Faculty were feeling the pressure, and it's a great night. But that's an opportunity for us to put our best foot forward, all of the groups and musical groups. So this one student, we were doing this intense song, and we were doing all the moves and the clappings and just all this good stuff. And this guy was terrified. He pulled me in the hall, fully robed and everything. He's like, "Professor, I can't get it. I've been trying so hard. I even practiced at home, and I just can't get it. What do I need to do?" And so I was like, "Okay, do it for me right here." And he couldn't get it. So just like they would do back in the day, you teaching someone to dance. I said, "Put your feet on my feet." And he was looking at me like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes." So if you're watching this right now, you made it through. You made it through. So he put his feet on my feet, and we kind of did it, back and forth. And honestly, I really didn't care, but he did. So we did our song, and at the end of the song, he's like, I did it. Did you see me?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, you did it. So I actually really didn't see him because it was so students, but it was good that he was able to press through that situation.
I can imagine somebody walking like backstage at the CFAC and see you
me
with a student. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, I've seen it all. Like some students really get terrified because they just can't get it.
Yeah.
Or I've seen my hands are so red from clapping so much. It's like, hey, welcome to gospel choir.
That's great. So you are a gospel artist and a songwriter in your own right. You put out a new song in May called "You Are Great." Talk us through that experience. What's it like to go from Calvin to writing your own stuff and putting out your own music?
I started in 2009, not with "You Are Great," but I started in 2009 with putting music out and traveling and doing international worship and international worship conferences and concerts and things since 2009. "You Are Great," I started working on that about 7 months ago.
Okay.
I knew that I wanted to put something new out. I'm actually working on a new live album.
Okay.
But I wanted to kind of slowly do it because I teach at Calvin, I also teach at Powder's House High School. I'm a full-time worship pastor at my church. So I'm thinking I need to go step by step with this.
Yeah, sort of like your fifth job at this point.
Yeah. So we started 7 months ago.
Yeah.
I had a guy come. His name is Amir Edwards from Detroit, Michigan. And I showed him the chorus of the song, which is very simple. And by that time, I hadn't even had the verse yet. But I was just singing the chorus over and over and adding the harmonies, and we put some chords down to it. And we laid that down, and 2 months later, I drove to Detroit, and then I laid some more things down, and then 2 months later, he came to Grand Rapids, and I got a verse, and then we added the verse,
Nice.
And so it all worked out. And then not knowing we would go into quarantine, so I think around beginning of April, the song was pretty much finished. We were just adding last minute. We were adding more musicians, more instruments, and more things, and I said, let's do it May 1st. Let's put it out.
There you go.
And that was it. So.
So as the gospel, one of the things that I found interesting is particularly I feel like in the last 3 years, a lot of rappers and hip hop artists are taking like gospel tunes or gospel-like tunes and using them as backtracks, sampling them. I think of like Snoop Dogg's Bible of Love in 2018. Chance the Rapper does this a little bit on Coloring Book. Of course, there's the infamous Kanye album. How do you feel? Like, does it feel like that captures the essence of gospel music, or does it feel sort of like a ripoff as somebody who makes gospel music?
Yeah, that's a heavy question. I think it's good that there's a bridge being built. I'm not one of those people that totally just like tear it down. I think it's very strategic. It is a business still.
Yep.
You know, it's a way for them to kind of get this gospel crowd, and it's a way for the gospel crowd to kind of get this, what would you call it, just the R&B or hip-hop crowd. So it's kind of a win on both sides. But as far as being a gospel artist myself, I don't know. I've never been asked that question. So, I mean, I can try to rap a little bit. But
who would you have featured on the remix of You Are Great? What rapper would you have on there?
Ice Cube. No.
Well, there you have it. Coming in 2021, Nate Glasper Jr. featuring Ice Cube. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to play a little game called Protestant Confessions.
The Tonight Show is brought to you by Bees. Whether you're eating on Commons lawn or in one of the dining hall tents, if there's food around, they'll find it. Bees, the stinging kind.
Welcome back. I am here with Nate Glasper Jr. We are going to play a game that we like to call here at The Tonight Show Protestant Confessions.
Protestant Confessions.
Now, the way that Protestant Confessions works is both Nate and I have two envelopes in our hands. They're numbered 1 and 2. I will choose first. I'm going to choose either 1 or 2. Nate is going to read what is in there, and I have to determine whether this sentence or this story is true or false. We'll put 60 seconds on the clock, and at 60 seconds, during that 60 seconds, I will ask questions of him and interrogate him to find out what is the truth. So, let's go with envelope number 1.
Envelope number 1. Dun, dun, dun. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. One time, while traveling in Cape Town, South Africa, our crew was stuck on top of Table Mountain. You know Table Mountain, right? Stuck on top of Table Mountain because the cloud overpassed. So we had to wait for the cloud to pass. And when clouds are covering the mountain, they limit activity on top. And you also can't see.
Yes.
So we literally had to stand still. And it took about 30 minutes.
All right. 60 seconds begins now. So you're in Cape Town. What month is it?
It is October.
All right. So it's hot. Are you afraid of heights?
Not
too hot?
Not too hot, but I am afraid of heights.
Okay. Are you freaking out?
Not really.
Is it because you can't see the bottom because of the clouds?
Well, I think I wasn't freaking out because I was like, it's 8 of us up here, so something happens to me, something happens to all of us. That's pretty selfish, but
you had to hike all the way, or did you take the tram up?
We took the tram up.
Okay. Who was with you?
So I had my music team.
Okay.
You want me to name the names?
Yeah, name the names.
Evan, Sherelle, LaShonda.
Okay. How much more seconds do I have? 10 seconds. What's going on in your mind as the clouds come over?
I was thinking it was going to get cold for some reason. I don't know why. I was thinking if I'm ever surrounded by a cloud, it would get cold. I don't know why. I just kept thinking like, I should have brought a jacket, so. And you can see the cloud coming too.
All right. Ooh. The way you tell it, I think it's true, but it's in the southern hemisphere in October. I'm gonna say it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yes. Let's go. I knew it.
What made you think it was?
It's that. I said it was in October, so it was hot.
It is hot.
I studied abroad in South Africa in June and July, and I've climbed Table Mountain.
Yeah. But it is true about that. If that's they won't even let you go up.
Yeah.
They're trying if the cloud covers. But I think one time we asked someone like, "What would happen if you're up here?" And they said, "You just stand there until it's." So it never happened to me. Thank God.
And I feel like never mind. You would be afraid.
I would be afraid.
All right, envelope, number 1 or 2?
Let's go with 2.
2.
I was like, when I was in South Africa.
You ready?
I'm ready.
The day before I was offered this job, I got the words Hope College tattooed on my body.
Where on your body?
The back half of my body.
Upper half? Lower half? I don't want to know.
Lower
I don't know. Did you get it colored in as well?
It's like a navy blue.
Okay.
And sort of an orange.
Why Hope?
Well, I didn't think I got the job, so I was upset, and I graduated from Hope, and so it was sort of my final forget you, Kelvin, and then they actually offered me the job.
Okay.
And
Why do you want to apply at Calvin?
I like the job, like the SAO. It's sort of the perfect job.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, it's Calvin, so if they had this job at Hope.
I got 8 seconds left. Why didn't you just get a Calvin tattoo as you were hoping, no pun intended, for the job?
I wanted to rep my alma mater, but I also don't have any other tattoos, so I wanted to put it in an indiscreet place, so that if if things were to actually work out, and I was I don't know, changing in the locker room, people wouldn't be like, "Oh, you have a huge Hope College tramp stamp." I wanted it to be a little bit more discreet than that.
Okay. I'm going to say it's a lie because first I think you said something at first about, you just said, oh, it's just a tattoo. But then at the end you said, if someone saw it, it'd be this huge. So I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's there. And your body language gave it away. It's a lie, man.
You're right. That is a lie. I'm also glad that I didn't have to fully describe a tattoo that does not exist on my butt.
That's so
in our second episode and get us canceled.
Exactly, because someone's gonna DM you like, I want to see it.
I just want to know, what was your true one?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to see if I would have thought it was true or not.
While traveling in South Africa, I was bit in my stomach as well as on my arm by a lion. That's
true?
Yeah, it's true. I got proof too.
That would have been so much less.
So it was a cub.
Okay.
So Lion Park, you heard of Lion Park?
No. I didn't go to any of the lion stuff when I was only in Cape Town for a couple of days. So.
Okay. Well, this was in Johannesburg.
Okay.
And they have.
Oh wait, I may have been there actually.
Yeah. You can tour. It's like a safari tour.
Yeah.
And they have an area where you can go pet the cubs, and but they tell you don't touch the head of a cub because they don't like that. So if you pet it like on the stomach or like that, so the cubs will come up on you, and your natural instinct is just touch the head like a puppy. And as it came up on me, I touched the head, and it goes like here. And I was like, oh. And then the trainer, he has rocks in a bottle, so he's like rattling it to get it away. So he does this way, and then the cub comes. It's a pretty big, hefty cub. It comes this way, and my crazy self do the same thing to the head, and it latches on my arm, and I'm like, oh. And so the trainers are looking so nervous. Like, are you okay? I was like, I'm good. And my whole team, those people I was naming, was kind of like shocked and just staring. And then as I stood up, the cub latched to my jeans, and so it didn't like take the flesh off. It was just like a flesh wound.
All right.
I do have
just
pictures too.
All right.
I'll show you after.
All right, sounds good. Well, there you go. You heard it here first. Don't pet lion cubs on the head. Thank you so much,
sir.
Nate, for stopping by.
Anytime.
We will be right back after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Hudsonville, Michigan, the Skinny Limbs.
Open up the blinds. I'll watch as you fill up on my mind. I'll save my days, they're yours to take. All week I'm hoping that you show your symptoms of a better age. I'm what got in the way. Though your face remains the same, I know you nauseates. Perfect, I think it's worth it. Let me know when you're on your way. Sleepy eyes that look into mine. I can think about you all day. Every night I lie awake, longing for this. But now the moment's finally, I thought I'd be more of a fan. Symptoms of a better age. I'm what got in the way. Though your face remains the same, I know that you're still to blame. Perfect, I think it's worth it. Let me know when you're on your way. Sleepy eyes that look into mine. I could think about you all day. Hold this moment in eternal memory. Savor this one. Don't let this escape recollection. Hold this moment in eternal memory. Savor this one. Don't let this escape recollection. You're perfect, I think it's worth it. Let me know when you're on your way. Sleepy eyes that look into mine. I can think about you